型三四郎
SEGA Saturn SHIRO.
Well, that was kind of glitchy. Hey everybody, it's Friday. I don't know, the the Sega ad was just like glitchy or something. It's probably my computer. It's like a million degrees in this garage studio of mine. But it's Friday, and that means it's Shiro Show. I'm Saturn Dave, and my compatriot Trainoko. How you doing, Pat?
How's it going, everybody? How's it going? How's it going?
Yeah.
How?
Indeed. Yeah, no, I have a fan blasting on me. I'm hoping that my mic gate is not allowing that to come through. But we have 10 people in the chat. So to you 10 people in the chat, go get the rest of the folks and say, get in here. Did we do the at everyone announcement in Discord?
I did. I did an announcement on Twitter,
Pat.
Facebook.
Yes, you did. You picked that up. I completely forgot. I was at work and I was just like way in over my head.
That's cool. I just had to do what people were asking about, so I did it.
Good.
Oh, we got Genovian watching it live.
Nice. Genovi, go get your friends. Tell them to
get all your
in
friends.
Here. No, yeah,
be like, watch this stream and look at these cool people.
We're usually around like 25 or 30 viewers, but I don't know. Maybe it's one of those Fridays. Maybe it's the heat wave. A couple people bit the dust.
My favorite stand.
What have you been doing this week? What have you been up to? Aside from,
I haven't been playing DS games, that's for sure.
You haven't been playing Love Plus? No,
I haven't. I guess for background, we talked about that before we went on the show. And is that actually in English or is it full Japanese?
It might have like a translation by now, but it was full Japanese.
Fair enough. I need to check that out for reasons.
For reasons? You need a waifu? A little pocket waifu?
Apparently I don't have a wife. I didn't know that though.
I mean, apparently the game was compelling enough for some guy to go marry it, so... And I mean, he had like a full-on ceremony with like witnesses.
Yeah, that actually is confirmed. That actually is a real thing. A guy actually married his waifu in Love Plus, which is kind of crazy.
But, you know, to each his own.
Yeah, I mean, I married that body pillow once, you know, that had a little too many at the bar in Vegas, and, just brought my... one of my body pillows in there and married it. You know how it is sometimes.
At least she'll open and close on command. But no, I'm just kidding. Get a DS.
We just got canceled. Thanks, dude.
Canceled. Okay, so anyway, moving right along. What are friends? That's what. I don't know. Go get your acquaintances then and get them in here. One of the comments was like, "What are friends? We're your friends. We are your friends. If you're here,
my chair is breaking.
We're like the olive. Shiro's like the Olive Garden. When you're here, you're family. Get on in here.
We don't have unlimited breadsticks though.
Yeah, we don't have the unlimited soup and breadsticks, but we'll help you lose weight. Anyway,
don't eat during watching our stream. There you go. You lost weight.
Shadow Mask is watching in 144p because he has 10% mobile data left.
Oof.
Kudos to you, Shadow Mask.
He was saying he was in his car, like, watching us.
No, but that's dedication. Right? That's dedication. You're in your car watching Shiro Show on 144p. You know he's a fan for life. Anyway,
for waifu, something waifu.
I feel somewhat responsible. I feel somewhat like mature because I actually wrote a couple articles this week instead of letting all the slack go on to Pat.
It's cool. Pat Slack. I like
slap
it.
Pat.
Don't slap me.
I can't even reach you. I can't reach you. My hand gets cut off by the.
No, I just I'm punching the wrong direction, aren't I? Yep, I'm punching the wrong direction. So this way.
There you go. Oh,
there we go. That way.
Arm cuttage.
They cut my arm off.
If you guys could see this, okay, so this is going to make no sense for the people who are listening to the podcast later. But just trust me, it's entertaining to some degree.
It's not.
It's not. Hey, I played on Tuesday or Wednesday, I forget, we played some Virtual on Netlink.
Oh yeah, that's right. We forgot to mention that. More Netlink talk for the third week in a row.
Well, I have no idea. I don't know why we started messing around with settings, and that's where everything went south. But we did get a couple of matches in, and Pat just swept the floor with me basically. But
Well, no, you got me on the last two.
Oh, okay. I was paying less attention to who actually won, and I was paying more taking notes on like what the latency difference was, or what how successful the call was, I guess, But
yeah, it worked about as good as I expected it to be, which is really laggy.
It worked less than I expected, honestly, because that game is supposed to perform a bit better. And Pat and I are like neighboring states, so I don't really know. We'll get to the bottom of it
but
sooner.
we're still like 8 hours away from each other, though, right?
Yeah, but distance, is for Night of Dragon is saying he actually doesn't think the distance is really the big deal. It's more the latency. At the end of the day, it's more a matter of latency. And I realize they kind of are. There's a correlation, but I mean, he's had better matches with other people farther away, and then he's had some bad matches with people that are closer. So it's not necessary. It's really just down to your connection and the latency and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I don't know. We don't want to get stuck on this, so I guess we'll open up the browser and talk about the plethora of news that we have to discuss.
Yeah, Danthrax in the chat said Pat should have worn his Dreamcast shirt last week for Rainbow Cotton. I actually was gonna wear another shirt this week, but it was Clerks 2. I was gonna wear that, but then I realized that movie isn't that great and it's kind of didn't age as well as I thought it did.
Oh yeah, Clerks 2.
So,
Clerks 1 though, that's legit still.
I have a Clerks 1 shirt somewhere. I just don't know where it is. I have to look for it.
Cool. Well, do you want to start talking about Peter's article?
Sure. I'm not a big Panzer Dragoon fan, but I can tell what I read about it.
You're not a Panzer Dragoon fan in general, or not a Saga?
I just haven't played Saga at all.
Oh, okay.
But technically, I played it for 5 seconds to make sure it loads and then turn it off.
Well,
Dave's like, I made a mistake bringing him on this podcast.
No, seriously, you need to play this game. I mean, okay, so like some folks won't fault you for not playing it because it's kind of divisive. As good of a game as it is, and I feel like it's a good game, there are some people who just don't care for it, and sometimes I wonder, like, is it bad by comparison? Are they comparing it to something, or are they just angry that it costs so much? Or
I don't know. It might be little things like that. Like I think people don't like that it's $1,200,
which is ridiculous. But I mean, come on, GameCube games are getting ridiculously crazy too. I mean, even was it like Kirby's Air Ride is like $300?
No, Kirby's Air Ride isn't $300.
It's not.
No.
Okay, which
maybe
one?
Sealed.
Okay. No,
You're
I'm
probably
not talking
thinking
about Sealed.
Cubivore.
Okay, maybe I'm thinking Cubivore, but are there GameCube games in general are getting crazy? I think all retro games are getting crazy.
Yeah, like I bought Cubivore for $250 like a year ago, and I was like, man, I feel like overpaid. Now it's up to like $500.
Yeah. Okay, maybe not Kirby's Air Ride. I'm probably thinking of something else. But anyway, those GameCube games are getting crazy. But anyway, yeah, it is ridiculous. It's ridiculous how much. But let's just not talk about how much this game costs. Okay, let's just talk about the game itself. Peter wrote a really deep article. If you guys want to get kind of emo, if you want to get a little deep with this, he really went into like the loss aspect of the game and like what it feels like to wander through these worlds that seem meticulously created, but at the same time evoke this feeling of loneliness, which I think it really did a good job of. It's funny how like a lot of these screenshots that he provided are like razor sharp. And a lot of the artwork actually doesn't look nearly as good as it does a little blurred on a CRT. That's like just a side note. But I was just noticing that today.
I'm looking at that picture of a Edge in there, and it looks like he has like a mask on. Like he's got like a mask of that face on.
Well, it's just like a lot. I realized that all of these assets were just intended to be on a CRT from day one, obviously. So it's like, looking at some of this stuff, razor sharp pixels, it just kind of looks wrong. But anyway, that's completely beside the point. When it comes to Panzer Dragoon Saga, whether you like it or not, it definitely does something different in terms of RPGs. It definitely did something different for the Saturn. I mean, it was like a epic scale game. You didn't have a lot of those. I know Night of Dragon is a huge fan of Shining Force 3. and well, any of the Shining
What
games.
gave
But I
that
know
away?
he's a big fan of Shining Force 3, and
I
I
would've never
personally
guessed that.
okay, so like I personally like Shining Force 3 better than Panzer Dragoon Saga. I think it's a better game, but that's just personally, okay? But I still love Panzer Dragoon Saga. I think it's a great game. I just, it's just, and maybe it was when folks played it or what they were doing at the time or how they felt. I feel like when as a gamer or as a like a person who loves to watch films and stuff like that, when you watched it, what was happening in your life at the time has a lot to do with like the lasting effect a game has on you. And so for me, I kind of played it once earlier in the day, and I think at that time I was probably comparing it to things like Final Fantasy too much, and that's the thing, is I was just kind of comparing it to other things and I wasn't as impressed. But then later on, I went back and played this game before SHIRO, like right before forming the SHIRO podcast. I was playing this thing, and I don't know, at that time it just hit me, and it was the right timing, I guess. And it was a really fun game, fun playthrough, not that long of a RPG. So when you're comparing it to other games that are giving you like a 70-hour campaign, that is not this game. But it definitely is a world building game. That's what they're so good at. Team Andromeda, we're really good at just that world building aspect. Really did feel post-apocalyptic, but not in a cyberpunk kind of way, like in a true like post-apocalyptic, just there's nothing left,
Yeah, and that's kind of what I like about like the post-apocalyptic thing. Like it can go so many ways.
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be like cyberpunk or have to be like a Mad Max-esque. It could be different things altogether.
Yeah,
and I definitely like this example of it. And I think the one thing I like the most about Peter's article is his story about looking out for the game and then like riding the bus to go pick it up and telling his friend that there was going to E3 to go get it for him.
Yeah, that's another thing. We can't do Peter's article justice, guys. Just from a talking points, because we're kind of limited on time. But you guys really owe it to yourself. If you like this game, if you have any interest in Panzer Dragoon Saga, go check out Peter's article. It's like a 15-minute read or less if you're a fast reader, and it's good. It's worth it. Like, I love how Peter really goes into like that personal aspect of when he played a game, what he felt at the time, details, and Peter's writing style is great. I really like it. I can't recommend it enough. One thing I really loved about this game, I think a lot of people agree, even those who aren't crazy about the game, is Kobayashi. The soundtrack is amazing. I often like to champion the Saturn's hardware, like its sound hardware, in terms of like chip tunes and stuff like that. But I will say that there are some points in this game where the music is kind of grating, like when you're in the city or something like that, and it's just very like organy, like where it's just kind of like riding on a tonic or something like that, and it just kind of gets a little grating to me. There are obviously parts of the game where the music is sweeping and it's very orchestral, but then there are those times where it just kind of like grates on me. And I think that's one of those things where I would have liked it better if it was full orchestral, but they didn't have enough room. I mean, as it is, it was a 4-disc game, and that's with chip tunes, So it was like they probably couldn't fit that kind of information, that kind of like Red Book audio, in addition to. I mean, I guarantee that's why they went that route, is just so they could fit more information and graphics and stuff like that onto the discs. But yeah. Any other thoughts on Panzer Dragoon? We're actually going to be talking about it again, Pat, because the Best of Saturn.
Do you just want to do the Best of Saturn next? That way we can just do it in one go.
Yeah, we can skip ahead. Why not? We're already talking about it.
Yeah.
So yeah. Should folks go check out Panzer Dragoon Saga if they haven't yet, Pat? I'm asking somebody who has. No, you don't think that they should?
I'm just joking. Yeah, of course they should check it out. I think it's a great game. From what I've seen of it.
You haven't played it. You haven't played it, Pat. You need to go play it.
I didn't say it looks good.
Okay, well, it does look good, but I really think you would enjoy it. And it's not that big of a time commitment.
Yeah, I think it's definitely one of those I'm going to pick up. I'm trying to finish up Final Fantasy VII Remake right now. It's pretty long.
Oh, yeah.
And the side quests are getting really annoying now, so I'm trying to figure all those out. I didn't know you
were playing Final Fantasy VII Remake. Okay.
Yeah,
I know you just finished.
Right at the end.
Yeah. You played Utena, right? You played... Wasn't that you? Peter played Utena. Did you play it too?
Yeah. I played a Sakura Wars on the PS4.
You played Sakura Wars. Okay. Yeah, so okay, so when you get done with Final Fantasy VII, put this bump this to the top of your backlog and play it. It won't take you'll finish it in a week of just like small game sessions, I'm sure. It's not that big of a deal.
I definitely want to play this one. I want to play Yakuza 0.
Oh man, yeah. Yakuza 0 is that's a fantastic game, and it gets a lot of love from folks. Again, another great like story building and world building game. But I mean, for folks that are considering playing Panzer Dragoon Saga, I really would just say, burn or rip or download a copy, put it on your ODE or on a disc or whatever. There are action replay codes that will allow you to boot it. Even though it has copy protection. There might even be an image out there with copy protection removed. I'm not sure. Time has gone by.
You don't know.
I don't know, but it's worth.
You can search the 7 Seas for it though.
It's worth trying. Yeah, the 7 Seas. Nice. No, I mean it's definitely worth playing, and I know one of the biggest memories I have of this game was a more recent memory within the last few years where Chaz, who was doing a lot of our game streaming at the time, did a live stream of this game in like 4 or 5 parts.
Yeah.
And he finished it off and 100% completed it live. Which, I mean, it's hard enough.
And that's all on our YouTube too.
It is on our YouTube, saved for posterity. So you can go check out. And if you want some hand holding, or you want to know how to 100% it yourself, there is a live playthrough on our YouTube. You just scroll down a really long ways. You can find a live playthrough, 100% completion of Panzer Dragoon Saga. And Chaz is just like so elated at the end when he finally does it, when it finally says 100%, you can walk among the gods or whatever. It's just crazy, like hearing him shout and get all excited. And I was excited with him because I just couldn't believe he did it. You can, yeah.
I've seen a lot of people say maybe Packet stream Panzer Dragoon Saga during the gameplay portion of the SHIRO show.
Say what now? Do what?
Like play Panzer Dragoon through the gameplay portion of the SHIRO show.
Yeah, we could. You get an hour. The thing is, there's a lot of FMV in the beginning, so you either have to like save after that to show some people some actual gameplay, because if you only have like an hour to stream, unless you're going to do like an extended stream, it'd be mostly FMV, and then you'd get like a little bit of gameplay. But yeah. Anyway, go check it out if you haven't already. I know Knight's not a big fan of the game. He said it was a snore fest. I don't agree, but that's okay. Everyone is entitled to their opinion, and I totally understand that there are reasons why. There are reasons extenuating beyond the game itself why people either like it or dislike it. But taken on its own merits, I think that it's a great game, and I think that it is worthy of the Panzer Dragoon name. Which is saying something. Yeah. But
fair enough.
Moving on. We have
play something good is all I gotta say about that. Speed of playing something good though, CubeCat. You have played this, Pat. And you liked it, right? Didn't you? I really liked it. It was my favorite game of the competition.
Favorite game of the competition, yeah. Crazy, right? Because I kind of said like the big takeaway. Well, there were a couple takeaways from this interview, and I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed editing up this interview. Pretty much, he gave me all the answers aside from the questions. But just editing it, reading and rereading, I really enjoyed going through and getting Seven Shades kind of, his thoughts on game development. He being a very new to game development, and just like my first takeaway from this is that this game kind of came out of nowhere, right? It wasn't one of those games that we were like anticipating or looking forward to when the competition came around. It was just kind of like, oh, there's that game. Okay, there's XL2's submission. Okay, there's Emeralds. Oh, what's this? Like that's all it was. It was like, okay, here's my first game. Here's my first submission. CubeCat. No, no profile pic, no posts previous to this. It was just like, okay, this came out of the woodwork, and so I played it, and it was like when you fired it up, and it was like got this cute little title screen and solid gameplay, and you're just like, what? Where did this come from? So that was like the first thing that hit me is just like, okay, Seven Shades. He's not big into social media. He's not big into forums. That's just not his thing, right? And so he was just like working on this thing diligently for a while, and then just submitted it you know, to see what folks thought. And like Pat here, and like me, I don't think I gave it my number 1, but I gave it like my 2 or 3 spot because it really surprised me, and I was pleasantly surprised by the gameplay.
Yeah, I was surprised that there's another person that really got inspired by John Linneman's a Quake video.
Yeah, and you know,
I think that's like the second person that did development that got inspired by it.
Yeah, second person to mention. I'm sure tons of people have been mentioned. Tons of people have been inspired by John's videos, but second person to mention it in one of these interviews, and also fourth or fifth person to mention Johannes Fetz and Joe Engine. And you know, I'm trying to line up an interview with Johannes next, so I can get him down for an interview, because it's like, here's all these folks that are saying, you know, like, I knew nothing about Saturn. I knew nothing about Saturn development, but I just wanted to get started, so I downloaded the Joe Engine. It sat on my desktop for months until I finally got up the nerve to start messing around with it. Once I did, I got something up and running, and before then it just snowballed into a project, and now, you know, months or years later, here we are, you know? So it's like lots of folks shouting Joe Engine, at least as a place where they got started. And let me see here. Interested in game development from a young age. He never had a game console until he got a used Nintendo 64 during the GameCube era. So the GameCube was already out. He got like a discount Nintendo 64. He'd spend most of his youth going over to friends' houses and playing their systems, and kind of then coming back home and kind of making like his own imaginary games. You know, he you know, he would draw pictures, he would do concept art and stuff like that, try to make up his own games and stuff. So he had an interest in game design from an early age. Just couldn't get his hands on any hardware. He dabbled around with RPG Maker a bit. He was a Nintendo fan, just like me. He said there's really something about Saturn, I guess, that kind of turned him over to like a Sega and Saturn fan, and he's just trying to like make up for it ever since. Grew up as a Nintendo fan, and I can totally relate to that, because I was totally into Nintendo until like the Saturn came around, and there was just a mystique there that won me over. Maybe it was this feeling that like this console has a lot of secrets that it holds that a lot of people will never know, because they just won't ever even get into it. And a lot of folks just will never even know the potential that the console holds, just because it never got its chance. It never got its full 5 years on the market, or well, 6 or 7.
If the prices of it are an indication, I mean, that's changing little by little.
Yes. You know, folks are getting into it now for sure. So yeah, I saw John Linneman's video of the Quake, you know, and getting really into the nitty gritty of how the Saturn hardware works, how VDP1 and VDP2 render. Got the Joe Engine on his desktop, just sat there for a while, but then he finally started messing with it, and he was able to get something up and running relatively easy, just with a little bit of C knowledge. And I'm trying to think, okay, so CubeCat was basically his first project, essentially, outside of like doing RPG Maker or whatever, which is, you know, kind of a closed platform. But essentially, you know, he mentions Joe Engine, he mentions XL2 and Sonic Z-Tream, that project, as inspiration. He wanted to do a platformy game on the Saturn, which he felt like it was really bereft of any kind of platform games. We had a few, but not, you know, we had Croc, we had the Ninpen Manmaru. What else? I don't really know. Like a whole lot of other platforming games. There was that ninja game, I forget what it was called. But anyway, suffice it to say, you know, he wanted to develop a platforming game that would just focus on, you know, solid gameplay mechanics. And he mentions that the floating limbs, like the floating ears and floating limbs, were really just a product of his limits at the time. Like, he only knew how to do hierarchical animation, and he didn't really know how to get like connected limbs.
Kind of reminds me of Rayman almost.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know that does. And so he went from there. The yarn ball mechanic is the most recent mechanic that added complexity to the gameplay. There's some physics going on there as well. It's really impressive. It works really well. For this being his first project, I'm really impressed at just how well it works. And I guess part of that, it comes back to his design philosophy of keeping things simple and keeping things doable in the short term. You know, he said as far as development strategy goes, he just likes to keep the scope limited to something that he can achieve in the short term. This goes back to XL2's interview. XL2 said in not the same words, but about the same words, that basically, if you can get something up and running, you can give yourself motivation to keep going. If you're working on some of the more esoteric, coding stuff or maths and physics stuff, and you're trying to niggle with making everything perfect, you don't really have that much reward, but seeing your stuff up and running on the screen, it just gives you that kind of motivation to keep going. And that's kind of what he described
it's satisfying, here. Especially from a developer position. It's Absolutely. Like finally, after all the errors, all the stuff not working, it's like finally.
And, as far as his philosophy in game design, and granted, he is a new developer, so I guarantee he'll continue to build new philosophies and develop new strategies in game design. But right now, as it is being an avid game player, he said when it comes to designing any genre of game, he doesn't want there to be any assets that go unused or without a purpose. If it's going to be a platforming game, every single platform better be platformable, better be jumpable, Just don't have, invisible walls, don't have, assets in the game that just are there for no other reason other than to look good in the distance, and unless it's a background painting or something. But yeah, basically he was saying, like, when it comes to designing a game, make sure that there is a purpose for everything. And if there's not, then just get rid of it and scale it down, And maybe this is why, and this is a quote, maybe this is why I'm such a big fan of 32-bit era. The 3D technology was primitive enough that most games couldn't afford too much unnecessary clutter in their design. And I would have to agree with that to some extent.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely think that he goes with the sort of the design of just keeping it simple and, keeping everything as elegant as possible and make use of every single object.
Yeah. But I mean, Pat, so, he goes on to this personal perspective, what you can talk about, let's see, Saturn development in general. He talks about how Joe Engine is actually really easy to get up and running with. I imagine, Pat, if you actually had time, which I know you don't, you're crazy busy just like me. And if you did have time, you do have C coding, and you probably could make a game with Joe Engine. It sounds like you could get it up and running quite easily. He said it's when you get into the crazy stuff that VDP1 and VDP2 can do that it gets tricky. And that's really when you need to start referencing the manuals, which are still poorly translated from Japanese. I wonder that, if that's a project that, that would be a huge project, but I wonder if a better translation of those manuals exists or if it's a project that's underway in the community. Thing is, the Saturn development community is still niche enough that everybody's probably just asking each other and working off the poorly translated documentation as it is. But it'd be cool if that was had a better translation down the road for new programmers. But yeah, it sounds like if any of you guys watching are remotely interested in Saturn development and you have some simple C programming skill or knowledge of C language, you can download Joe Engine and get something at least started, and then it's from there. You're just going to the forums and talking to developers like XL2 or Pona, asking questions. They're very helpful over there on the Sega Extreme forums. No pretension, they're not like too cool to be able to help a newbie. They're all very happy to help, I've noticed. So if there's interest in doing design on Saturn, take it from Seven Shades, who never designed a game before this, that you can do it too. Just have to dedicate the time,
Exactly.
Yeah. He's been working with SGL, Sega Graphics Library, which I know that XL2 was too. I believe that's kind of how he went. He went Joe Engine, he went Sega Graphics Library. Eventually, he just had to write his own renderer because he wanted to kind of move away from that. And that's what XL2 is doing right now. I think Pona might have gone that way as well with the help of XL2. And now I feel bad that I'm not remembering that quite well. But anyway, if you could change one thing about the hardware, he said actually it's kind of difficult to answer that because it's part of the charm, just how janky it is. And I guess I kind of agree with him. But they're he talks about copying data over VDP2 and stuff like that, talking about transparencies, basically the stuff that that plagued developers back in the day. That's the kind of stuff that he wishes that it would just be easier to do some of that stuff. Thoughts on Saturn development right now is that it's growing every day. You know, it's continuing to grow, that it's a helpful environment. Biggest hurdle is just getting it more widespread. Getting, you know, the thing is he talks about the Saturn copyright protection. And I think for a lot of developers, that's the thing, you know. It's like, it would be great if the scene might see kind of like a renaissance or kind of like a huge growth if somehow we were able to crack that ring protection, you know. Because if that happened, then all of a sudden you'd have teams that were more on board with, okay, we could actually develop a game and put it out and make some money off of it, rather than it just being like a hobby project that we're going to do in our basement or in our bedroom or whatever. And that's kind of where it's at right now, is these one-man team. Lots of going to the forums, lots of community resources and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's like a one-man team taking forever, just working on it as a passion project with no real hope of really making a buck off of it. But that's not the reason they're doing it, I realize, with the homebrew. But in order for us to see, you know, more games on the Saturn, it would be great. Seven Shades says that it would be great if we could, you know, get that to that point where somebody was able to reverse engineer that ring, the wobble on the Saturn discs.
Hopefully we'll get there one day. But I do agree with Genovi saying that he would definitely fund a CubeCat physical release. I
would too, in a heartbeat. I would pay, you know, like for a game, it depends on how much he fleshes it out. But I mean, I'd pay $20 for a game like that, or 30 if it had like several levels. You know, and by the way, guys, there is a link here on the article, up at the top, and this links to the Sega Extreme posting. You can go download this. You can play it on your satiator or your Fenrir. I believe you can even burn it to a disc. Check it out. Play it. You're a little cat who, you know, bumps a little yarn ball around the play field, and you have to get it up on top of platforms, and you have to collect these bells, and then you have to get it to the little mat, the little cat's like sleep mat, and then you move on to the next level.
He's adding enemies to it now, right?
He's added Cube Rat. Exactly. I had a picture of him here. Where is he? Cube Rat. He's like, right there. Here's
like
Cube
towards
Rat.
The bottom.
Yeah, there he is. Cube Rat. So yeah, there's enemies now. And you know, it's at kind of like a start, you know. I mean, the possibilities are endless, but the fact that he's got it up and running like this with these like moving platforms. I mean, he's even got the up and down moving platforms, these ones right here. Where is it? There you go. These platforms that move kind of in a circular fashion, which is very similar to like the Ninpen Manmaru game. I would say that this game actually controls better than Ninpen Manmaru. Ninpen is kind of frustrating at times. And this game, I didn't have that problem. I felt like the platforming was very solid. So
it was made by a good developer, so.
Good developer, took his time, limited the scope to what was, you know, what he could achieve, and making sure that the primary thing is good, solid gameplay, you know, and that's what matters. So anyway, moving on. What else do we move? Okay, what else is next? What's next?
Move to the left.
Oh yeah.
Also, I like this joke. I like this joke by Historic Nerd. Sega Saturn pickup line: "Girl, is that dithering? Because I see us interlocked in a never-ending pattern."
That is such a nerd joke. That is such a nerd joke.
I'm stealing that one.
You're stealing that one. Yep. I did a little write-up on Facey Space a few years back, or a year back, I don't know, on Cyber Sound. It wasn't really that much of a write-up. It was really just that I had found, while searching on eBay, where was it? I found this like this keyboard. It was like an entire suite, like Cyber Sound Studio 3.0. It's like a little keyboard that you hook up to your MIDI keyboard, you hook up to your PC, and you get like
I remember this.
Yeah. And I was thinking, okay, I was like, wow, I was blown away, because at that point I didn't realize that they had actually released it as like a home product that people could use, but it piqued my interest, and it caused me to want to I guess, you know, further investigate what Cyber Sound actually was. And so, are you familiar, have you ever messed around with the Saturn's you know, sound menu, just like the, you know, the CD player? You know how
Yeah.
it's got like that built-in DAC, and it's got that ability to raise and lower pitch and mess around with the audio and stuff like that. So it's got a lot of power under the hood, you know, and it's got the ability to you know, it's got the ability to manipulate sounds and stuff like that. But it's also, this custom sound processor, the Yamaha chip, is directly connected to a paltry 512 kilobytes of memory, of RAM. In fact, that's the one, that was kind of like the one criticism against the sound system, is that it would have been better if that was like a full megabyte. Anyway, 512 kilobytes of dedicated audio RAM. And the whole audio system is controlled by that Motorola 68,000, yeah. Like the Genesis, you know, leftover Genesis chips, you know. And essentially, in that audio RAM, you could store, you know, raw wave samples, raw audio samples. You could also store software programs like Q Sound, you know, and like Capcom would use Q Sound to do like the fake surround, you know, kind of thing. And they'd put it in the DTS newsletters to the developers like early on, like Q Sound, you know, use Q Sound, license it for your game, you know, to get like that fake surround sound thing going on. Kenji Eno did his own kind of like fake surround sound. It wasn't Q Sound, but he did his own thing with Warp, you know, with Enemy Zero, for Enemy Zero. But and I think he used it as well in the Kaze, what was it, the Real Sound, Kaze no Regret. Anyway, Envision also was a company in the mid-90s, well, late 80s, mid-90s, that they had their own package, their own thing called Cyber Sound. And they licensed it early. They licensed it out early to Sega as an instrument library. That's essentially what it was. It was an like a MIDI instrument library / sound driver for, you know, for playback of these sounds. And they actually licensed it early on as an option for it was basically known as the Sega Sound Library. Before, I would say, like 1996 is when they actually started using the Cyber Sound name and branding to kind of like advertise it as a feature on the games, you know. It was always there. And so if you go to the Sega Retro link that I put at the bottom here, I put some links, where are they? There they are. I put more information. There are some links on it, some articles you can read up on. It turns out that a lot of early on games still use the same thing. They still use the same thing. It just wasn't called Cyber Sound. It was just called the Sega Sound Library. And then they kind of rebranded it. But it was always Cyber Sound GM was the package, basically. And there are several games, such as... you know, Nights into Dreams and Dragon Force and just numerous other games, Sakura Wars, that use this system, that use these virtual instruments in their games. And of course, Nights is one of the most high-profile games where you can actually interact with it to some degree in the Melody Box on Christmas nights. And you can kind of see how
cool.
Yeah, like if you piss the Nighttopians off, then the music changes. If you make them happy or you do something else, you know, the music gets neutral or it gets happy, you know, and it kind of changes per mare, you know, like, so within an entire level there's like 4 mares and it can change per mare, so you just have like this unique soundtrack that is, you know, it may not be discovered until much later by somebody else, you know, but doing the same thing that you did. But anyway, that's Cyber Sound in a nutshell. You can actually download it and mess around with it on PC or on Mac if you got like a virtual machine or you got an old PC that can run it. There's a DMG here for Mac, and then there's just an EXE for or zip file with a bunch of stuff that you can check out. And if you have a little MIDI keyboard at home, you don't need this one that came with it. You can download the manual here, and you just use your own MIDI keyboard and mess around with Cyber Sound on your keyboard.
I should probably check out see if I can hook up my keyboard to it.
Yeah, you probably could. I mean, if it's a general MIDI controller, I'm sure you can. But yeah, we got the original Cyber Sound website through the Wayback Machine for you guys to peruse. A couple articles, interesting stuff. Yeah, maybe one day I'll do an article on Q Sound. That'll be interesting. There's a lot more information, to be honest with you, out there about Q Sound, because it was incredibly high profile,
popular,
used in arcades, used on consoles, licensed to a lot of different companies. Where Cyber Sound flew a little bit more under the radar, but I still find it fascinating because I'm a huge Knights fan, and I love the Saturn. I love the Saturn sound chip. Well, Peter and I, we're both big Knights fans, and I'm not gonna.
Bunch of Knight nerds.
I no regrets, no defense. I'm a Knights fan through and through.
Fair enough.
And then finally, you posted up this retrospective on our Halloween episode, our first ever.
Yep. This is so yeah, for those of you who don't know, we have a podcast, SEGA Saturn SHIRO. You can subscribe on iTunes and it's on YouTube underneath the SHIRO podcast episode link. That's actually where we also post our SHIRO show episodes, the full show on there as well if you want to listen to that. Just edited vocally. And then if you want to watch it, you can just go on our Patreon and support us and get the full show edited and everything. But anyways, this week we decided to do a retrospective on our, like Dave said, our first Halloween episode, Spooky Saturn Halloween. And actually, I'm not sure, was this your episode idea, Dave? I can't remember.
I think it was just Halloween. It's like, every sitcom has a Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas episode. It was Halloween.
We still had yet to have our very special episode.
We were all like, we got to do a Halloween episode. Incidentally, this is one that I would definitely recommend folks go back to. Because here's the thing, guys. There's only so many spooky games on the Saturn, right? There's only so many Halloween games on the Saturn. So every year, and we've been doing this for 4 years now or whatever, every year we've had to get a little bit more creative in terms of like what we consider a Halloween game on the Saturn, right? So like if you go back to this year, you're going to get like the heavy hitters. You're going to get like the most obvious choices. But still, like,
I think we did all of them too. We just talked about every single one.
We talked about Castlevania in this. And that's funny that we talked about Castlevania in here pre Night of Dragon having anything to do with it, right? Pre-patch, all that stuff. So you can go back.
I said that I actually beat it for the first time.
You can listen to us talking about like how janky it is and how like and how you it's hard to play because it's not in English and stuff like that. And it's a little bit of a nostalgia laugh because of course, like, we've come so far. The community has brought that game so far. And I mean, there's we talk about Mr. Bones and we give Pat a few Pat gets a boner over Mr. Bones.
Jesus Christ.
I know he hates that. No, but I mean, I think it's one of those ones where I definitely recommend folks go back to it because we're probably not gonna.
You're such a bonehead, Dave.
I'm a bonehead, and make no bones about it. But anyway, I think you guys should go back and listen to this podcast if you haven't. Okay.
Halloween's coming up soon, guys. 2 months away.
It's
always
like
spooky season. Some
channels I don't go back and watch the early content for whatever reason. I mean, maybe it's the production value or something like that. But for our stuff, I'm biased, okay? And then also, no, I just think it's good. Like, I think you guys should go back and listen to these older podcasts because there's still good stuff to get out of it. And also,
we got a lot of celebs in the chat. We got Historic Nerd, Genovi, and SSG just rolled in.
SSG just rolled in. Sam, how you doing?
He needs to roll into our Discord and start talking to us. He better get on the Discord and start getting on mic, I swear.
Yeah, get in here on the mic, dude. Unless you're in your car.
We want to hear you. Want to talk
unless you're like Shadow
Mask
Mask and you're in your car watching at 144p. That reminds me of like that reminds me of Cameron. Sindane, like before he got good internet, he'd be like, "I'm out in my car and I'm like recording with you guys on my phone, and it's like really janky." But I'm happy for him because he got good internet. Comment
like that. That's the first episode he actually listened to ours.
Who? What? Wait, what?
Sam. He said. That'd be the OG Hallows Eve cast. Actually, the first one y'all's ever listened to, if I remember correct.
Yeah, and we talked about Resident Evil, which is like Sam's first game. For those of y'all who don't know, and I'm saying y'all because I'm talking about Sam. For those of you who don't know,
those of y'all that don't know,
that was Sam's first game on the Saturn. That was like the reason why he wanted to buy a Saturn. He got that game home. He played it all night. He got stuck on the snake. I know the story like the back of my hand. Got stuck on Yawn or whatever on the snake, and he didn't realize that he wasn't even supposed to fight it. He was just supposed to run around.
He actually was on our second Halloween cast, I think, too.
And he talked about that. Yeah, I've heard that story like a million times now, but it never gets old.
It never gets old
because he's so enthusiastic. He's so enthusiastic about it.
Speaking of Resident Evil, I even talked about my tradition of always every Halloween playing Resident Evil 2, and I swear that's before the remake came out, and we started talking about the remake too a little bit. That's before it. We
were excited for the remake. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a year and a half before it dropped on PS4. But yeah, I really liked Resident Evil 2. I must beat it like 35 times, maybe, probably more.
Yeah. So.
But yeah.
Off the top of the dome, the games that you guys gotta play. If you've not played D, you must play that game. I don't care what console you play it on. Play it on PlayStation, PC, 3DO, Saturn. go experience D. I'm not going to tell you the ending because that would completely spoil it. But if you don't know already, then go play it and experience it. It's like a 2-hour sitting.
Get the D.
Enemy Zero. I'm a huge fan. I think that game should be experienced. Wild Potato Industries, or was it Thor High Heels? I can't remember. One of those guys did a recent stream of it on their channel, and I thought it was great. And I was able to watch most of it. But that's just another phenomenal game. I love Kenji Eno. Rest in peace. And those are great Halloween games that you guys gotta check out. Castlevania.
There's also the Capcom Generations as well.
Capcom Generations. What are you talking about? Darkstalkers? That fits.
No. Capcom Generations has Ghosts and Goblins and Ghosts and Ghouls.
Yep, Daimakai Mura. So go check out Ghosts and Goblins. Check out Night Warriors and Darkstalkers Vampire Savior. Those, they got the Halloween characters in them. They're great fighting games. If you have a Halloween party going on at your house or something like that, you got the chips, you got the beer, you got a bunch of people over, play some Night Warriors. That's a lot of fun. What else? I don't know.
I think my favorite thing about that is that with your thing that you're talking about, you were talking about resurrecting the old SEGA Saturn website, and SEGA Lagoon.
Yeah. Which Sherman's Lagoon. It was weird. There was I was talking about
that was a weird thing.
Yeah, that was a weird thing. I was messing around on the Wayback Machine. So what I want to do is, if you guys are familiar with the Wayback Machine, any of you guys who do research for articles, or if you're just like interested in Sega's past and stuff like that, if you go on the Wayback Machine, you know that these sites are kind of broken, right? Like they're there, they're like 75% there, but they're not all there. Not all the links work. And what I was doing was I was using like a web crawler tool to basically just download everything and then just go by hand. I was going in there and I was just kind of fixing all the redirects and the links and stuff like that, getting all the assets into one folder, trying to rebuild the site so that it worked like 100%, and then of course I'd have to host it somewhere. I have all that stuff, all that work still done, and it exists in a folder on my PC, and it works. Like the HTML works, and all the Shock Machine stuff works and everything, but it needs to be hosted somewhere, so that's what I was talking about with that project. I just wanted like an old Sega website that actually worked, instead of having to like rely on the Wayback Machine and all the ads that you get on top and stuff like that.
Going way back.
But I wanted to talk about something else. So for this next Halloween episode, we're gonna have to get really creative on what constitutes a Halloween game, and I want to start getting into like the games that are like kind of Halloweeny but overlooked, because like Bug 2, for example. Bug 2, you start out in a graveyard, and there's like this really, really cool like Michael Jackson-y style thriller kind of music, and like the entire first 3 levels are, graveyard, haunted house, that kind of thing. Shining the Holy Ark. You spend a hell of a lot of time in like a haunted mansion, in the middle of the forest, and that's going to be, I want to talk about that for Halloween. If you guys happen to be able to have a save, at the beginning of the mansion, and it's Halloween, I think that's a great place to play through. There are like books flying around. There's ghosts that you can die. You can, there are like, there are like those bookshelves that move out of the way, and it's like a secret passage, all that kind of cool stuff. And then Gex, the original Gex, you start out in a graveyard.
Gex.
There's the entire graveyard level, which I think is very on point for Halloween. So those are just some ideas. But if you guys have any other ideas for games that qualify as Halloween themed but are not like explicitly or obviously Halloween, put them in the comments, or like shoot us an email, or get in our Discord server and let me know, so that we can make sure that those make it into our Halloween podcast, which is coming up. And the reason I know this is because they're already selling costumes at Costco. They're already selling Halloween candy and costumes.
Oh boy, I bet you're like trying to avoid that out with your kids.
Yeah, well, no. My son, they're all like the cheap superhero costumes, and my son is like too original for that. He wants to be like Milotic or something, Milotic or whatever. I'm just like, I cannot make you a Milotic costume.
Milotic?
Yeah, like the it's like a water type Pokemon. Or he wants to be like Raboot. These are like later Sinnoh.
I actually have not played Sword and Shield, so I have no idea what these Pokemon are.
Okay. Alien
Sorry,
Trilogy.
Pokemon fans.
Alien Trilogy is Halloween appropriate, and I wonder if we've talked about that already. I will have to check.
Honestly, I kind of want to do a focus on Mansion of Hidden Souls and what's the other one?
And Lunacy? Mansion of the Hidden Souls and Lunacy?
I actually want to do a focus on those two because I think we've briefly talked about them, but we never like dived into them, which I think would be kind of fun.
We just talked about those. What was that? Was that a cast about like games that everybody thinks is supposed to be bad, or was that our Halloween cast? I don't
think there was a Halloween cast.
No, it was because didn't Nick do? Nick did.
He did the video
Alone in the
on
Dark.
it, yeah.
Nick did Alone in the Dark. I think that was our Halloween cast, honestly. And
I hope not. That's a way. No, because we did games that are so bad. That were really bad though. So we did Lunacy and that. So I don't know why we covered
Lunacy
that.
is not bad though.
I know. That's why I'm confused because we did the so bad it's good Halloween games. Remember?
That's true.
Because we don't want to waste the ideas.
That's why it was horror bad. It was the horror bad episode.
Yeah, Halloween games. Yeah,
that was already almost a year ago. That's what it was. So we did talk about Lunacy and Mansion of Hidden Souls last time. So Alone in the Dark. Yeah, Nick says Alone in the Dark is worse than The Crow. It's bad. I will give you that. It is bad. I don't know, man.
I kind of want to play some good Halloween games this year. So.
I do too, but I mean, we're limited, right? I mean, maybe we need to start talking about Dreamcast too.
I guess I kind of want to do a cast just on Castlevania. That'd be kind of fun.
Well, we've done Castlevania to death, though. You know that. I think we've covered it on 3 different. Because Pat loves Castlevania so much, it makes it into every Halloween episode. I guess that's okay. We can talk about it some more.
Well, we'll figure something out. We got ideas. We need to plan the next cast though.
We do. Nick is still editing, and I know he's listening to this. Tap, tap, poke, poke. He's editing our most recent interview podcast, whatever you want to call it. Thank you, Nick. I appreciate it. I know it's going to be great. And you guys are going to enjoy it. So as soon as that drops, we really need to start talking about like what our next cast is going to be. But yeah. Oh, Space Hulk. Yes, Shadow Mask.
Actually, I'd be down. Actually, I know people that could actually be on there that know Warhammer, so we can actually get them to talk about it. So I'd be down to get some Warhammer
Space
guys
Hulk
on there.
is scary. Space Hulk is one of those games that gets your adrenaline up. Like these guys, all these like what are they? Replicants? What are they? I don't know. Tyrannids. They're coming at you. They're just killing you, and they're just in your face.
I believe, yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure you're playing Space Marines and you're fighting Tyrannids.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I'm fairly certain it's Tyranids though, but if I'm wrong, definitely let me know. Yeah.
It's in Space Hulk. It's not Tyranids. I don't remember what the name of them is.
I thought it was Tyranids.
But check it out. There's a YouTuber that goes by Zyrule, Zyrule, and every Sunday he's been posting like a new episode of Twitch, this old show that came on in the mid 90s. It was a game show. It was the kind that you would tape on your VCR to get the codes and stuff like that. But anyway, every Sunday he posts, and there's like these old Saturn and 3DO reviews, and they do a Space Hulk review. And I just I find it so nostalgic to watch that kind of stuff. I highly recommend it. He doesn't have a lot of subscribers, but those of us in the know, we know that every Sunday we get like a new drop from him. So it's a lot of fun.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind doing a supercut thing of like best of Saturn on Twitch TV.
Best of Saturn on oh yeah, you know what? When he's done, and I'm gonna ask him permission just so I know like he's okay with it. But I would love to make a master cut of just all of the Saturn content from that show in one. Nick could probably do a better job, honestly. He's much better at video editing. But anyway, either way, I don't care who it is.
I mean, I could do that.
You could do it, yeah. Just a master cut of all of the Saturn reviews, and maybe if we could fit them on a VCD or something like that, would be cool. But anyway, it would be rad. I think that's all I got on this Halloween retrospective. Go listen to it if you guys. Another thing you guys could do instead of playing Halloween Saturn games this Halloween is just binge all of our Halloween episodes.
I think, do we have 3 or 4? I can't remember.
They're like 2 hours a piece, so you'd have like a good 8 hours of listening material. We have 4. We have 4 as of this last one, I'm pretty sure, and we will soon have 5. 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. I know 2021 we'll have 5. So Baroque.
Jeez.
Dude, these guys keep dropping bombs in the chat. Baroque is a great one. Baroque has like demons
I
and
would like to play
ghosts and stuff
Virus
like
once
that.
that gets translated too.
You know, fun fact, Baroque is a game that I've mentioned this before, but I really would love it to be translated. And Virus is a good call too. But Ben could never get out of the bedroom in Virus. But
I'll be able to figure it out.
I would love to have Baroque translated. It's such a good game. Oh, Cerulean, Mr. Bones. How about that? Maybe we should cover Mr. Bones. What do you think, Pat?
I think I'm gonna get the band ready for that. Hold on, give me a sec. I'm just gonna get a little band hammer. No,
but in all seriousness, Loaded. I don't know about Loaded. That's just Loaded.
That's the worst Metallica album.
Loaded is from my perspective, as a US gamer, Loaded comes across as a game that's kind of popular in the UK. But for me, it was like I bought it, I played it, and I was just like, this does nothing for me. I get that you're like running around and you're just shooting up the place and stuff like that, but it just didn't do anything for me. But apparently it's kind of like a little favorite. Darkstalkers, I agree. Yeah, we're gonna do that for sure, because you got a succubus, you got a vampire, you got a
mummy, you got the thing
mummy,
from
you got the Frankenstein's monster.
What was the one with that monster that loved the
Got a
girl?
werewolf?
The Guillermo del Toro movie? I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I forgot the name of it. You guys in the chat know.
Anyway, we are talking about Halloween in August, though. This feels weird. Anyway, we're gonna have
it's always spooky month.
We also kind of have to like just quietly skip over Christmas, because the only thing we ever talk about is Christmas nights, or that Father Christmas game, which is terrible.
We could play we can play Christmas night, or the Saint Nick, whatever.
Yeah, the Saint Nick. You're talking about the Father Christmas game, right?
Father Christmas.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's so bad. There's Father. Here we are, Father Christmas, Christmas nights, and then the SEGA SHIRO game where you're like, isn't there a Christmas level in there because of the commercial with him, taking off the Santa mask and everything? Yeah. So.
Oh, there's also Mall Santa.
That's true. What if Mall Santa is done? What if that Mall Santa graphic adventure is done before Christmas? Nod, nod, wink, wink. Then we'll have something to talk. We'll have something to talk about in stream for this Christmas. Anyway, guys, I gotta go. I gotta go make some pizza. We're doing pizza
Christmas
night.
Pony game. I forgot.
We're doing pizza night, but we are going to. I'm gonna make pizza this time, so we'll see how that goes. And yes, Ponut's Christmas Pony game is another good mention. So Steep Slope Sliders, okay. So now you guys are getting into Christmas. I still need Halloween stuff. Okay, we need this to be a really good Halloween episode. Crypt Killer, we already did. It sucked. Who did that? Ben. I think Ben did it. It sucked. Listen to our.
I played Corpse Killer. That also sucked.
Yes, that sucked too. Listen to our Halloween Horror Bad episode that we did for 2020. We talk all about all those sucky games. And Corpse Killer again, Nick says.
I'd rather bang my head against the wall.
We gotta
just
wrap
watch
this
the next
out.
episode if you really want to learn about it.
Yeah. But we gotta wrap up. So we gotta talk about. Thank you to all of our Patreon supporters. We really appreciate you guys.
Yeah, let me. I actually have their names for the 10 and up. If you back us $10 and up, we will shout you out on the show. So we got Sewen, Emerald Nova, 32-bit stuff, Memphis, and Super Dimension Century Orgus. I can't believe I said that in one go.
I can't believe it either. That's a mouthful.
Yeah, if you want your name shouted on the show, just let us know. If we shouted your name already, but we said it wrong, or you want a different name, just message me on the Discord, and I'll be able to fix that for you.
Yeah, and do me a favor, guys, and this would really mean a lot. If you could share our SHIRO website, or you could share like our YouTube channel with maybe one of the other gaming related groups that you're a member of, or Discord servers that you're on, that would really help us to grow this community organically, and that means just as much as, I mean, like if you guys can't contribute $1 here or whatever, or buy the merch, just sharing us out helps us grow, and it helps other people learn about. I mean, I just had a guy ask the other day, like, you guys have a podcast? I'm like, FML, I've been doing this for 4 years, and there's still people that don't know there's a Saturn
A lot
podcast.
of people just watch the SHIRO show, actually. It's
That's
kind
true,
of funny.
But anyway, and that's fine. It doesn't matter how you guys consume it. But Yeah, we have a podcast. Yeah, there's a show dedicated to Saturn. Isn't it great? And you guys can be in the chat here with us and be a part of the SHIRO family. Join our Discord server. Talk Saturn with us. Just have fun. We're always it's a welcoming community. We want as many people to be part of it as possible.
Exactly, and you can join our Discord. It's in the video description right here. And if you want to buy our merch as well and help us out or back us on Patreon, it's also in the description. But yeah, I think Dave's point is the biggest. Like, just share us out, let people know about us, communicate in the Discord, add us on Facebook, add us on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like, if you have a question, just add us. We get ats all the time.
We're not a clickbait.
And we will reply to you.
Yeah, we're not like a clickbaity channel or organization. That's just not what we do. If we grow at all, it's going to be organic. It's going to be because of you guys.
That's my clickbait face.
There's your clickbait face. You need a big like a white stroke border around you.
I see, like, just rip my mouth up and like to the biggest I could possibly get it.
Tiago, I think it was Tiago that said thanks for the stream, dude. You're welcome, and please stick around because Pat is going to, Pat's gonna stream a game. He's gonna do, what is it, Police Knots? So I gotta bounce, but Pat's gonna grab the stream key and he's gonna keep the party going, and you guys can stick around and he will unmute the chat, and so you guys can be a part of it. So get on in our Discord chat.
This video, it'll be like 5 seconds. I'll hit the stream button and we'll be good to go.
All right. So until next time, this has been Saturn Dave and Trainico, reminding you to play your Sega Saturn, or you'll get the crap kicked out of you by Segata-san. Sega Saturn SHIRO. Until next time, peace.
I always keep forgetting I'm a bit out of frame. Hey guys, welcome to the gameplay portion of the SHIRO show. This is Patrick back again doing some streaming stuff and messing with my settings. That up. How's it going, everybody? Another day, another dollar, another game stream, and this time we're playing Police Knots on Saturn. And this is very loud. I don't know why they have this so loud by default. But yeah, we missed. Oh. Alright, so for you that don't play Police Knots. Down a little bit. For you that don't play Police Knots, it's a game that was by Hideo Kojima, the guy that did Metal Gear Solid back in the day. And this is a game after, I believe, Snatcher. He did Metal Gear 1 and 2 to break, did Snatcher and Police Knots, and then did Metal Gear Solid, of course, and made that series of great games. And today we're going to play the original sort of Police Knots. We sadly never got a fan translation on Saturn, But now we finally, after years, I think it's like 2016, we got a translation. So now we can finally enjoy the game as it was meant to be enjoyed. So I'm gonna start play of this. And you can hear if you ever played Metal Gear Solid, they had this the doot doot thing, and that's what's playing right now. So that's really good. So let's start a new game. Let's get going. Yes, enjoy the show, everybody. The SHIRO show. Yeah. Cool cutscenes, getting some backstory. (2013) Good year. Whoever's in the chat, let me know. Did you guys play this before? Have you guys ever tried this game? Let me know your experience with the police knots. Oh, geez, it just freeze on me. Oh, my favorite. Oh boy, lovely. Well, I did not expect that. Let's try this again without the crashing.
Blow on the cartridge.
Yeah, I think that'll work.
Don't ever do that. It's
Saw that in a movie once.
It's nonsense.
I did not expect that to crash. I'm actually surprised. I don't think I can skip that. If it does again, I'm just gonna move on to another game because I'll have to recopy that on the fly. But we'll see. Is there any way we can mute your mic tonight?
I can't hear tonight. I can't understand him.
Alright, let's try this one more time. Cutscene. Hopefully it doesn't crash.
You need to use 99% isopropyl on.
This isn't even a disc either. This is just the. This is the. This is on the satiator. Let's hope this works.
Well, the satiator has an edge connector.
Okay, thank God it didn't crash.
You gotta clean that.
That's weird it did that though. I did not know that. But yeah. This is the big sabotage. He gets shot off into space. Somebody sabotaged him. I guess spoilers. I think it showed them sabotaging it, so there's another whodunit. It's a really cool like police drama thing. Sort of like a kind of mixture of like Beverly Hills Cop versus I don't know, something. I like this comment. Commercials back then dubbed it as the next generation of Snatcher. Played the PS1 translation as an e-boot on my PSP long ago. Upgraded my AR card to SEGA Saturn Kai just for the SEGA Saturn version. Yeah, I did the same actually. Funny enough, I played the fan translation on my PSP, and it was pretty fun. until they released the Saturn version. I was like, oh, I'm going to play that one instead. Which I did, and it was a great play. One of my favorites.
Is there anything weird in Police Knocks like in Snatcher?
Oh, absolutely. It's probably worse, actually. By weird, there's several cutscenes that are kind of on the shittier side that he did. So
like the guy in Snatcher is he like molests every woman he meets in the game.
Oh no, that's Police Knots.
No, that's in Snatcher.
Oh yeah, I guess technically it's both of them then.
Oh god.
Yeah. The future isn't that great. Yeah, there's certain really weird cutscenes. Like there's the you can like assault the flight attendant on the plane in the first part, and there's another part that actually I don't think I can skip it. Actually, we'll have to do it, but I won't spoil it if we somehow get to it. But I doubt it. In an hour, I don't think we'll be able to get to that scene, no matter how good I play. But I do have to say it's probably one of the best soundtracks for a video game I've ever heard. I do really think it's one of those good soundtracks I really enjoy. Yeah, and actually they released it on vinyl a few years ago. So if you actually have a record player or something, you can go buy that. I wonder if they still sell it actually. But you can go pick that up by a Ship to Shore phono company. And yeah, is it? No, it's not Ship to Shore phono company. It was a Data Discs did it. That's right. Ship to Shore did Snatcher though, but if you want to listen to Snatcher, which is also a great soundtrack, you can get them from Ship to Shore phono company. So definitely recommend that for people that want to listen to those soundtracks on vinyl. And I think they might have CDs of them. I know Snatcher they released one, but I don't think they did for Police Knot, sadly. But if any of you in the chat have that on vinyl, let us know. Ooh, I actually don't know about this. The Saturn version has the exclusive game order that the PC98, 3DO/PS1 that I won't spoil here. I actually don't know about that one, so I'm be interested to learn about that. And I played this game several times, but we shall see. But yeah, it's the background of Jonathan Ingram.
Do we now have to make games specially designed for your themed podcasts for you to have something to stream on? Like, does Ponat need to finish his Christmas version of his game, and does Raimi need to finish his scary game so you can stream on Halloween and Christmas?
Yeah. No, I think that's a good tactic to bully them into doing that so we can finish them so we could play them. That should be a good motivating bullying tactic. I agree with that. Just kidding, love those guys. But seriously, that'd be really cool to play those on the podcast. We'll have to bully Xenos into finishing his game too.
Takes a lot to make something that you can talk about for more than 5 or 10 minutes.
Fair enough. We can stretch out the 30 depending on how much we talk about it.
Yeah, you could get into all the technicalities.
I would love a dub for this. That'd be kind of cool.
Didn't we have 10 people in chat before, and now I am the only guy here talking to you?
Pretty much. It's all good though. Night Dragon's there. He's just kind of silent right now.
He's like always in the chat. Like
he's always vibing.
We left him alone in the chat, and the next morning he was still in the voice chat.
Hmm. Yes, I'm just going through the machine right now just to get the messages out of the way. So it'll go a little bit faster for you to do. Oh dang, I didn't know that. Apparently if you have Jonathan's the virtual gun plugged in, Jonathan's handgun looks like the virtual gun. I did not know that. Alright, so yeah, there's that. Let's look at different things. Just gotta get out of this room first, and then we can into the game. I think there's a couple cutscenes in it. It's the messages, this one, and I think you have to look at the spaceship in the background. Because someone will pop up once we do that. I still don't know about your Red Wing, Jonathan. Yeah, I'm just gonna save just in case.
Can you die in this game?
You can, so I kind of want to save just in case. I forgot which one to save. That's recent. Oh yeah. I remember there was a save button. What the hell is it? Oh, I guess I just have to get through this room first. Do that. Well, I do with the mouse and keyboard, but I do not have that, sadly.
Is it like Police and Space Quest, where you can die from your stupid decisions?
Sometimes.
In D, you can die by that cutscene where the knight attacks you and tries to hit you, and you have to go like through half an hour of content. Then shortly before this one runs out, the knight, you get a quick time event, and if you fail at that 3 times, you have to do it all over again. And I never made that stupid quick time event.
That'd be frustrating. I would get frustrated with that, but luckily there's nothing like that too much. Yeah, I think I think this is one of the cutscenes you have to get the trigger. It's been a little while just to get it, because I don't stream it that often, but yeah, usually this is probably the best way to do that. Replica, yeah. Connex at the Beretta. Mr. Ed Brown. Won't be the last time we see him though, so it's all good.
You can use a mouse on this game.
Yeah.
That helps.
Sadly, I have the mouse, but I don't have the reach of it. So if I get like maybe an extension cable, I'd be able to do that, but sadly I don't. But I do have the mouse. It's okay playing with it. It's not as good as I thought it was going to be. But you know, what are you going to do?
Make an adapter for a USB mouse.
That'd be kind of cool. Get a laser mouse. I kind of would be down for that. Okay, how do I... Why is this not triggering? Am I missing something? That's... I think I got everything. I could be wrong. Let's see. There it is. Okay, thank God. Here we go. Who could this be? Uh-oh.
His wife.
Dun dun dun. The big twist. Ex-waifu. Yeah.
Why is she older than him? Was he in cryogenic sleep or something?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. So yeah, he was in cryogenic sleep for like 20 years or so. Let's get her information. See, let's look at her bag. It's an expensive bag. Ask about her request. See what's going on. Yeah, Greg, I think this is probably the best way to play this is on a CRT with the mouse. Honestly, I think, yeah, the mouse and the gun probably be the best combo on the CRT. That's actually how I first... Well, no, I played with a controller and the gun, but that's one of the ways I kind of want to play it again. But unfortunately, if I want to do that, I have to switch my setup all completely around. I'm sorry. I have to switch my setup completely around because, like, my CRT is facing directly behind me right now. So if I want to do that, I have to do that, but I would like that. Yeah, this Cerulean, yeah. The mouse from Sakura Wars does work. So that's definitely doable.
Do all guns work?
I think they should all work. I've not tried it. I only had the virtual guns. Well, no, the virtual gun and the other one that's PS1 and Saturn, that does work. So both of them do work indeed.
I've got two light guns, one that looks like the 80s cop police gun and one that looks like a machine gun.
I don't know about the machine gun one. I just have the two that's the one with the auto fire on the PS1 and Saturn with the two connecting dongles on the end of it.
Yeah, I have that too.
Yeah.
You can like turn on auto reload and auto fire on both and then play 2-player co-op on House of the Dead, and it just turns into a stroboscopic nightmare.
Yeah, it's like just flashing LEDs all over the place. It's pretty crazy. But it's really disorientating though. Oh nice, did you play both of them with a guide or something, or did you play them in Japanese? Sir Leon. Hope I'm saying your name right. If not, my bad. But yeah, the light guns work on all the systems, even in the EU, right? Yeah, I have two of them myself. I kind of want to use it on my kiosk, so that way I can like have like a light gun kiosk. That'd be kind of fun. I need to eventually set that up, but I have to get like extensions for both of them. It's kind of a pain, but it would be kind of fun to set up though, for sure. Oh dang, Sir Leon's an OG printing out the guides. Dang. Do you still have them around, or is that just something that you got rid of over the years? That'd be kind of funny, though.
Still doing that. I don't have a smartphone.
Fair. Oh, you don't?
No.
Huh. Is it just like cheaper there not to have one?
That too. And I don't want one. It's distracting.
Oh, that's fair enough. So you like listening to music on iPods and shit?
On my laptop, I have one of these senior citizen phones with the large buttons and the emergency button on the back in case I fall down the stairs or break my hip in the bathtub. I can call 911. Oh no, what's it here? I forgot.
What is the number in Germany?
I think 112.
112. Oh, it's 911 in America, yeah.
I think 110 is the police and 112 is emergency, like the fire department. And if you break your hip and you wanna go to the hospital.
Fair enough. You always got to be careful though. You don't know how many those the German architecture can just break your hip for no reason. Could just be walking, taking the Brandenburger Tor, and you just fall and break your leg.
Well, it would certainly survive a hurricane.
It's fair enough.
I don't know why you insist on keeping on building your houses out of cardboard. Maybe it's just easier to set up after every hurricane.
I have no idea. All the houses in Arizona are like are made out of wood and drywall. So, like, it's there. Luckily, there's never been hurricanes here, but you never know.
Everything here is made out of concrete.
Oh, nice. Why should you do that here?
It looks ugly as hell.
You need to slap Lorraine and get into the action already.
I'm trying to. She's not giving me the stuff. Usually at this point she tells you about the stuff that she has, like the drugs and stuff. So I'll try work. I'll start looking her over.
That's what she wants you to do, like find her husband.
Yeah, her husband is like probably dead as hell. Dang, tell me the information already. Okay, yeah, talk about that. Family, daughter. Am I missing and stuff? Dang it. Why will you not? Yeah, the stream's kind of... I probably should have remembered how to get all the stuff information, but yeah, this is other clues finally. Might be.
Maybe you do need a printout of the guide.
I should. I'll see if Cerulean could send me his. Also, it was a last minute decision. I was like, what can I play that people might find interesting? So I decided Police Knots. I forgot how slow this game could be sometimes. So sorry about that. I probably should have done a Dreamcast game. Maybe do more Rainbow. I don't know. Maybe not Rainbow Cotton again. One of these days, figure something out.
Gotta do the Dreamcast games.
Yeah, it's definitely not a good hour play for an hour game. But it is a fun game, I like it. I just like showcasing it once in a while for people that don't know that this game's in English. Get more people playing the good games. Hopefully you guys are enjoying looking at it though, because I do.
The good games. The 2021 loot shooters on PlayStation 5.
Yeah, too bad we didn't have any loot shooters on this console.
Yeah, those are just great. I'm being sarcastic.
Fair enough. Do you play any loot shooters?
No.
Nope. It's fair enough. Yeah, I don't. I used to play Fortnite a little bit, but I'm not really the biggest fan of Fortnite. I mean, it was good for what it was, but I don't play really anything else. Like, I don't play like was it the PlayerUnknown's Battleground, stuff like that, or whatever the games are.
Do you know what the SEGA Saturn really needs?
What?
A Ubisoft sandbox game.
Oh boy, Far Cry 5 on Saturn. I'm down. I will play that. That'd be kind of interesting. Why did it climb the case? I've never done that before, but it'd be funny. He doesn't even accept it. He just considers it. What the heck? It's either you consider it or you do it. Or you don't do it, sorry. Well, I guess don't consider it. Just do it or don't do it. No considering. Gotta pick one of the two. It just triggers the same dialogue. That's such a dumb thing. Why would they do that? Just, it'd be cool if they'd like, no, I don't want to do this. I don't know why, like, yeah, I don't know why it's like she had to apologize for. She has to apologize for it. It's like, I mean, he was dead 20 years. Like, I mean, or supposedly dead for 20 years. I mean, you gotta like, you know, I don't know, accept your losses at that point. I don't know. Ooh, I like that idea. She was replaced by a snatcher. That's kind of cool. I like that. I like that.
He has the Penelope syndrome.
The what?
The Penelope syndrome.
What's that?
Penelope is the wife of Odysseus, who waited for him 20 years.
Oh.
And she always got suitors who came to Odysseus' palace, and she had to fend them off. And then Odysseus came back and shot them all dead with his bow, because Greek myths are rather brutal.
Yeah. So she did the opposite then.
Yeah. So.
Rip.
Kinda, but it's the Penelope syndrome because she wants to be like Penelope, but I don't think
Fair
it's
enough.
a good idea.
Uh-oh. That's not good. Rip. Yeah, I remember his gun turning into the virtual gun in the cutscene.
That escalated quickly.
Okay, can I do this with the controller with input lag? Let's see.
So, kids, don't be like Rudy Giuliani, or I'll see you in court.
The hell? That was weird.
This portion of the CE podcast is brought to you by Sheep and their fantastic
I'm gonna mute that right now.
underwear.
Sorry, Knight, but you're watching TV or something. Yeah, she's like an ex-wife who's just kinda dead. Oh, it's right there. The feet. I forgot. It's really hard to aim. Is this like guy's cardboard? Keep shooting him in the junk.
Reminds me of what's that movie called with Arnold Schwarzenegger where he's on Mars.
Oh, Total Recall.
Right, where his wife betrays him and then he shoots her and then he says, "Consider this a divorce."
That's so bad. I do like Total Recall a lot though. It's a good movie.
It did not need a remake.
I didn't watch the remake. Was it any good?
I didn't watch it either.
Huh. Probably for the best. Oh dang it! We shot him. We shot the milk out of him. I'm sorry about that. We shot the milk out of him. Oh no. Lovely. I do like the signage on that. I'd like the idea that they actually wrote that in blood. Got shot and just wrote that expletive on the freaking trash can. Imagine being that angry.
It's curious to even see a swear word as a graffiti, a graffito.
And it looks like it's a common thing in LA. I probably would expect that.
No, yeah, well, in real life, but not in a game.
Fair enough.
The graffiti in games or in movies are unusually PC oftentimes.
Oops. I just keep shooting him in the junk. It's not even on purpose. I just like naturally aim there with this controller. I don't want to keep shooting him in the junk. I just want to kill him.
You know what Cartman thinks of this? Not cool.
I feel like RoboCop.
Well, he's RoboCop. You're not RoboCop.
I don't know. Maybe I could be.
You're like the Japanese version of the dude from Miami Vice. I forgot his name.
I wonder if there's gonna be a segment where we just drive around to In the Air Tonight. Also, I like how he had time to write that in blood. Imagine being so angry you'll write "I'll kill you" in English. I wonder, was that originally in Japanese or was that in English in the original one too? I can't remember. Whoever knows, just let us know. Oh, cool. And that. Okay. Okay, so I can't proceed. What the heck? Okay. I said check the boxes. I can't click on the darkness.
It's Crockett
There we
and
go.
Tubbs. James Sonny Crockett and Ricardo Rico Tubbs.
There.
You look like a Japanese version of Crockett in this game.
Huh. Hell, there's the graffiti on the thing, but it's in red now. Damn, he's got a lot of bullets in his gun. Ah, my favorite store, Purple Carpet. My favorite all-American shopping store. I do want to save.
He ran out of milk.
Unfortunately, he's going to the store to buy more, though.
He had to use cherry juice.
Gross.
As a surrogate. Rip. This is the big sad. Shouldn't he have looked after his wife first and then gone after the milk robot?
Nah, he had to kill that guy first. Or the milk robot. American Space Lines, my favorite all-American airline service that goes to space now. Totally not. It's like another one. I also like the floating space attendants. That's kind of funny. Oh god. So, question in the chat, Greg. Off topic, but would you ever consider playing some Saturn remakes for the stream or Xmas or something? Guardian Heroes is 12 players on Xbox Live on 360 and Xbox One. I'd be down for that. I need to hook up my Xbox in all honesty. I don't have that down. I don't have that downloaded, but I actually kind of would. That'd be kind of fun to do, really. Like get like 12 fans in the chat and on Xbox.
Gotta play Burning Rangers remake.
Ooh, that'd be kind of fun too.
What's up with this guy? He looks
Creepy.
Unhealthy. Is he a robot or an alien?
He's all the above.
Or does he just have a serious skin disease and hair disease?
They'll explain it. He basically is. He's like a genetically modified human that has like different traits. So he basically is like I guess technically a artificial like human or something of that nature that's been enhanced.
A biomutant replicant.
Yeah.
That's the term.
Yeah. This guy's kind of nice though. He definitely is not going to turn to a a-hole at all.
So he's not evil.
He's a Frozener, I guess is technically his name. Totally not evil. So he has artificial blood. Oh, that's weird. Wasn't there artificial blood on the ground? So let's question him a little bit. I have to wrap up the stream here in a little bit anyways, so we'll probably stop on disc 1 and then continue. Probably another stream. I don't know, we'll see. Did you guys like this? I can do this for the next one as well, and we just go through the game in its entirety. But if you guys wanted me to play something else, I'd be down for that too. It's up to you guys. We can go talk about like the milk people.
Let's play some Ninpin Manmaru.
That'd be kind of fun. Let's talk to him. He's got lots of belts, though. Let's talk about his hand. I just burnt it a little, right? This guy's not evil at all.
He's the milk robot guy.
Yep. Milk robot. Do my watch. Let's call the flight attendant real quick.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Not terrible. Just on my way back home from work.
Sounds good. You just got in time for us to finish up Police Knots. I'm gonna talk to the stewardess right now. This is totally not gonna go bad at all. Gonna have a nice interaction with the stewardess. Nothing.
I'm putting Snorts aside for like a rainy day. That's going to be a game I'll play when the dark time comes. It's the last Kojima game I ever have to play.
It's a lot of fun. I definitely would recommend it.
Oh, I've already played through Snatcher, so I sort of like know the DNA of the game.
Yeah. Did you enjoy Snatcher?
Oh, it was wonderful. I just couldn't believe, like, I couldn't believe what they got away with, just like ripping off straight out of Hollywood. But I enjoyed the gameplay, I enjoyed the jokes, I enjoyed the story, the graphics. It was the Mega CD port, the SEGA CD, if you use the US name.
Yeah. Did you play the Mega CD version, or did you play the? Okay, so we're not doing this option. So whoever wants to see that, go on YouTube, look that up. I'm not flirting with her, so.
It's actually probably the best ending Kojima's ever done as well, and I say that loving Metal Gear Solid.
I don't know. I was kind of annoyed that it ended on a cliffhanger, though.
Yeah, we'll have to just get that super deformed version. I can't remember what console or handheld that was released on.
Oh yeah, SD Snatcher. That's that should be on the MSX too.
Oh, right. There's also a PC Engine port, so there I am with my Terror Onion SSD H3, whatever it's called, waiting for a fan translation.
Yeah.
The PC Engine port is still uncensored, so
Oh, okay, good.
all the gory stuff is still in there, but it hasn't been translated yet.
I happened to stumble into somebody on another Discord forum. If you've ever seen a YouTuber by the name of Lady Decade, she's the wife of Top Hat Gaming Man. I was chatting with a Scottish chap, and he's working on a fan project to make like a HD remaster, like getting artists to submit art for it.
Oh yeah, I remember something like that for. I remember the Collector Vision Games was talking about doing a project for that, but that kind of fizzled out. It looked like. Is that a different project though?
This is a different one. I literally was talking to him about a week ago about it.
Huh. Interesting.
I'll see if we can get the deets on it. It was interesting.
Yeah, let us know what you figure out about that. The itchy ear right here.
Still trying to figure out how to get the 2.0 patch for Sekiro Wars running on my Raya.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend taking time to play some Police Dots. I think it's really good. But yeah, let me go to sleep.
Interesting that the game is so in depth that you need like footnotes to understand it.
There actually is if you hit the options menu, there actually is a list of footnotes on it that you can click, and it will have all like all the things about all about like the different acronyms and all the abbreviations and just information more in depth of the game. I'll click on it as soon as we get to a scene that we can click on it. This is the future I want. Regular trips into space.
I think if we get a future like that, it's going to look like Game Boy Bebop. Hope that jump gate next to the moon doesn't blow up.
It does look something like Cowboy Bebop meets Miami Vice meets a lot of things.
Meets Beverly Hills Cop.
Space Odyssey 2, 2001.
Getting some vibes from that too.
Would it be fair to say that the 90s was the best decade for anime? The most experimental and aesthetically pleasing?
Wasn't that the 80s?
I like the 80s, but there was still a lot of like, they were hamstrung by aiming towards children. In the 90s, it's like they broke free of that restraint.
Alright guys.
I don't know.
So with the disc ending, and it's time for stream, we'll end it here, and then we'll probably play disc 2 another time. I kind of want to do it in a marathon. That'd be kind of fun, but this is a pretty long game, so we'll figure it out. If you guys want us to play something else, let us know. But I guess from all of us at SHIRO, thanks for watching, guys. Like I said, like, subscribe to our channel, follow us, ring the bell, and of course, if you can, back us on Patreon or support us by getting a shirt at the store underneath there on our Threadless store. And thanks again to all our Patrons for backing us and stuff. And yep, I think that's about it. You guys got anything to say before we head out?
Play your Sega Saturn.
Yes, definitely Saturn. Saturn has good resolutions.
Sounds good. All right, everybody. Catch you next week. Later. Next week later.